Yay! Excellent. Good morning, everyone. Buenos dias. It's a beautiful Wednesday here. It's a little overcast, but it's always a beautiful day here under the roof at Coldwell Banker Dynasty headquarters in Temple City. I'm so excited to be here with all of you and get our day going in a positive direction as usual. So we are going to go ahead and start with our affiliates. I usually start with the positive quote. And the quote that I heard this morning at AAR Caravan, very short and sweet to the point. Hope I don't mess it up. It's lead me, guide me, or get out of my way. That was kind of interesting. So lead me, guide me, or get out of my way. Okay. So that has some room for thought in there. But what I do want to say to you is I'm going to lead you today. I'm going to lead the pack of all the little duckies along with Kelvin. And Mark is in Lake Forest with our grandbaby, so I'm excited to be here. And we're going to go ahead and start with who I see first here is Scott. Scott, you're up.
Hey everybody, I'm in the parking lot at the AAR because that meeting went long today. But
Did.
yeah, so Scott Shimamoto Journey Mortgage Advisors. So I do regular mortgages and reverse mortgages. And what I want to say is do not sleep on reverse mortgages because what that can do for you is create multiple transactions. So if someone is, of age and they have a lot of equity in their house, but maybe they have too much house, you might be able to sell their house, right? Get money out of it. They could buy a new house with a reverse mortgage. So in other words, not taking all the proceeds from the sale of their house, you know what I mean, and put it just in the bank or buying something in cash. They could use a reverse mortgage to buy the next house and have no mortgage payment. And if you do it that way, there's a good chance you're gonna have money left over and you could help their kid or something like that. Maybe they're trying to help their kid with a down payment to buy another house. So, right now we have to get a little creative in how we generate business. And reverse mortgage is one way. And just one little tidbit: I used to work for a company that had season ticket to the Clippers when they were crappy and they were playing in the sports arena. But um, one of the guys asked the general manager of the Clippers, "Why is somebody a pro and why is someone just a great college basketball player?" And he said the reason why the person is a pro is because the college basketball player can hit the shot if it's wide open, but if you're a pro, you create your own shot. So that's the same thing with us as realtors and lenders. If we can create our own shot, then we're going to make much more money than if we sit around and wait for this perfect opportunity to just show up and something just falls into your lap. So think outside the box. If you want to know about reverse mortgages, give me a call. I'll explain to you how this all works. Maybe one day we could do a training. I did a training for you guys a couple of years ago, but it's uh, it's something that people should not sleep on. Do not sleep on reverse mortgage. All right, thanks.
Perfect. I appreciate you, Scott. Thank you very much. And yeah, we'll get you back on the master calendar. We're aiming for August. We've been very blessed every year, and this year we've been slammed with our calendar being completely booked since January. So that sounds awesome. And who I see next here is Sandy. Sandy, you're up.
Good morning. And just as a side note to what Scotty was talking about, my mom had a reverse mortgage, and it was very beneficial for her for the last year or so of her life. So, what everybody talks about, like, ooh, be careful. It was very beneficial for my mom. There you go. I want to talk about looking at houses that may have had additions done to them that aren't to code. Someone threw up a couple of walls, threw a roof on it, called it the den or the man cave, as long as it's connected to the house. That's covered by your home warranty. If they don't pull permits, we don't care. We literally don't care if it's permitted until we have to repair or replace a system or appliance. Then we have to bring that up to code. So let's say they built a room and the air conditioner in that room, or not the air conditioner, the electrical in that room, you have to bring it to code, right? So we'll cover it if it's not to code, but if we have to bring it to code, all home warranty companies have a limit on what we call code upgrades. Most of us, it's about $250. If you're looking at houses that have these type of issues, then you want to consider either doing the max plan or adding codes, mods, and more for $100 to whatever plan you do choose. because that will give them an additional $1,000 to bring things up to code, should a repair like that be necessary. So this all just goes into the play of who you work with matters, and the expertise and knowledge of who you work with matters. If you're looking at houses and they have these unique situations, that's when you call, text, or email me and say, hey, Sandy, I'm looking at something that I don't understand. I've never seen before. How would you cover this? I get calls like that all day long. If I don't know the answer, I throw it out to my team and to our service department, and I get you an answer. And that's why who you work with matters. I'm going to put my info into chat. I hope you all had a lovely Memorial Day, and I will see you guys next week.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And next who I see here is Brandon. Brandon, you're up. Bye, Sandy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I guess I'm the second eagle to help protect your nest. So
Love that.
right?
Yeah,
That's Sandy. I give her full credit on that.
I like that. You should stay with that.
Right?
Yeah.
And the Eagles have landed. That's another good one.
Yeah.
So real quick, everyone. So I know I've talked about this before, but I've been talking with a lot of agents on what ways you can, one, get write-offs, and two, market your information where it's going to have a shelf life. So think about when it comes to who you're marketing to, right? If you're marketing to listings, think about the demographic of the people who own those homes typically, right? Typically in today's market, it's baby boomers are the largest homeowner generation, and then the silent generation and Gen X are next after that. And when you think about what you're marketing, it needs to have a shelf life, right? It needs to have something that's going to stick around, that's not going to be just something that they look at for 5 seconds and throw away. And then as well as that, when you're creating relationships and when you're doing, getting a listing and selling a house, think about things that are going to sit around with your marketing information on it. So I know some of you do Cutco, things like that. But the NHD and the information within the NHD, it ties in with safety and doing things like fire extinguishers or fire blankets or first aid kits or things that people are going to use, especially when it comes to like camping or if they're going to the beach. Think about those types of things when you're marketing the information. And then when it comes to like going around to areas that are in those high and very high severity fire zones, there are great checklists from FEMA and CAL FIRE and resources that are going to really give your potential clients and your clients a lasting impression of you being there for the welfare of their family, the welfare of themselves. And so those are the types of things that if you need ideas and ways to think about how you can, one, get your marketing on something like what they do with Cutco, right? That's a marketing write-off, but it's something that's going to stay there for years. Like a fire extinguisher, it expires every typically 10 years, most of them. So that's 10 years that it's going to sit there. The other thing that I know a lot of people, especially in the San Gabriel Valley, they own older cars, right? 1960s classic cars and things like that. And what you can do with that, obviously, is fire extinguishers are needed in those cars. So that's another way, not only their house, but you can be in their car. So every time they open the trunk and they have the fire extinguisher, you're right there. Your beautiful face or your contact information is always there, staying top of mind. So if you need ideas like that, I'm going to put my info in the chat, but I'm always here to help you guys grow your business. And I hope everyone had a fantastic Memorial.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Brandon.
You're
Now
welcome.
I'm looking here and it looks, let me see if we have any other affiliates here. Let me see. Going once, going twice. Is there anybody signing on that I don't see here? No. Okay. So before I hand it off over to Calvin, our phenomenal broker here that I'm so proud of, and I tell the world in San Gabriel Valley how knowledgeable, how hands-on he is, how he's a young dad, how he's a friend, how he's a leader. I have to tell you, you know what? This is a place to be. So for those of you that are not here or that are here and that are not present, you need to be here because you're missing out. So that other quote that I shared from the AER is still trying to resonate in my head. So I'm going to share my quote with you. When you master the basics of real estate, communication, conversation, listening versus speaking, understanding other perspectives, you start leading with empathy. So I'll leave you with that. And with that said, we're an agency that cares, an agency with a lot of heart. And I just want to say I'm proud to be here, and I'm going to hand it over to Kelvin, our broker. Move it, Kelvin. And go ahead,
Okay, we're ready
elevate.
to move it. Hope you all enjoyed your Memorial Day weekend with your family, had some barbecue, hopefully talk some real estate with your friends and family, and rock and roll and getting ready for the summer. So I know it's school's coming out. It's coming to be the last few days of or weeks full of school. So this is now full on fledged selling season. I really hope and encourage you all to talk real estate, get some more deals, and hope you do it for your own good. So how? What are we gonna do? What are the techniques? And so I'm gonna discuss a couple of strategies today. I also have some learning opportunities wanted to put in front of you, put on your calendars. And I also want to talk a little bit about the market. So without further ado, just want to start sharing my screen here. And just we'll go through the training and opportunities first. Tomorrow, Thursday, we do have class with Lunch and Learn. Sorry, I need to get up the screen. I know we have a Prestige Capital. She changed offices. Tracy Shaw. So let me go
Yes,
ahead and bring Tracy in. Is she here today on the sales meeting by any chance?
I don't see her.
Okay. So you might remember her, Prestige Capital. She actually just started her own company. That's how good your business is. Sometimes she used to work for a different company. Now she's starting her own. So if you have Tracy Shaw, she has solutions for you, providing lunch and learn, and very gracious to be of assistance to some of your clients in getting their loan products through. So, if you'd also look at my upcoming learning events, I also sent a reminder email yesterday. So you should be able to see that we
Mhm.
have, besides Tracy, in the month of June, we're going to have a really cool lineup of classes set up by Sylvia and myself. There is Sonny Joseph. Mark and I met with him the other day. He is an AI expert, one of those IT tech guys that are super smart and really in their niche in helping realtors. Number one, understand the fears and the problems about your identity and information and data online. What's what and how we're going to be able to use AI as well to generate leads. So it's a nice, cool topic that is rare to see someone teaching about this stuff. I encourage you to join us live at the company office. This is an hour on Thursday, June 12th, the week after. We also have Sam Wright with, I believe, there's an error. It's State Farm Insurance. And so State Farm Insurance is going to be, they have an emergency approval. We talked about it at last sales meeting. The link and articles here. He has a lunch and learn provided to us from 12 to 1:30 on Thursday, June 19th. And the following week is our little field trip with the Career Compass at Pechanga Resort locally, a 2-day event. I know it's not all of you are Career Compass members, but if you do want to attend, it's like you can join in for $99 is what our rate is. And the fee is only $10 to get your continuing education classes requirements completed while there's laughs and drinks because he's an entertaining speaker. So I'll be there. I believe I'm being invited to speak and the stage, and Sylvia is also coordinating travel, meal coordination. I know some of you are booking some hotels together, so that's awesome to see you guys really just mingle and mix and learn together while we have to do our next continuing education. So that is on the horizon. We also have other cool speakers. I have just booked on August. I have actually someone from the I have someone from the Tom Ferry organization coming to speak to us. Cool. So as far as those classes go, just wanted to put you also to be mindful, and I'll start sharing with you. Coldwell Banker has some really cool classes. Can you guys see my Coldwell Banker little June calendar?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
So this one is something I'll go ahead and put onto if you wanted to if you wanted to participate in these June meetings, let me go to my chat box and I'll share this link so you guys can download it. Here you go. And it's in the chat. So if you're interested in taking and improving your Coldwell Banker Moxie products or anything that's a tile within the dashboard of mycbdesk.com, take a look at some of these options, especially doesn't matter if you're new or you are experienced. The classes offerings are really cool because they are very what you call dedicated towards your exact products that they're offering at Coldwell Banker. So if you see here, there's a mid-year business planning. How many of you ever really revised your business plan midterm?
I
And
have. I actually revise it periodically.
awesome. I mean, you're one of the few.
Yeah. I have to. I have to
And you do
pivot.
have to adjust and
Yeah.
adapt because we have no idea how the market adjusts and adapts to all the new news and legislation and executive orders and signings that our president happens to do this year. So I encourage you to stay afloat to understand how maybe tariffs impact real estate or understand how um, some of the upcoming legislation that we just fought at the May legislative meetings at CAR, how these are going to be coming up on the ballot and what we should be doing. The other cool class that I think is a very unique class is using the DISC personality assessment. You don't have to be a recruiter, but to me, this is something that's interesting because personality assessment is super, super important in understanding your clients, how to persuade them and be presenting your ideas, your whether you're doing a CMA or a price opinion, whether you're doing a consultation on things to prepare for before selling their home. Whatever it is that you're consulting on, knowing your client's personality type, how they like to receive information, and who they like to work with are going to be instrumental to you and your success as long as you understand how to deliver that information and adapt your conversation to the style that they are receptive, that they're kind of opening and full ears and really respecting the words out of your mouth. So if you are any personality psychology person like myself who likes to really just be um, concise and spending the right amount of time with our conversations and not over promising things, but I'm also greatly listening to how the words and what's important to the client. I encourage you. These things are super powerful stuff. Um, the next thing I want to share is this little flyer here with the ARIA, Greater Los Angeles. They do have a wealth management strategies and market update on June 5th. This is a free class. I'll go ahead and let you know this is going to be on June 5th, 4:30 to 6:30, and then afterwards there's a mixer. The mixer is the charged event for members, but the class for 2 hours is absolutely free. So if you want to get an economic update, here is the link to sign up for the ARIA meeting. So let me get this for you on the chat box and we'll move on to the next one. Okay. Hold on, I'm having trouble getting this on the chat. Where's my controls? Here's the controls. Okay, so that's the link for Aria. Now, the next thing I also wanted to cool, one of my prior instructors and trainers at Realogy's Ascend program for brokers was Matthew Ferrara. He has a really cool style of teaching. It's very story-like telling. And so he teaches agents how to use your stories to be memorable, to be persuasive, and let the clients know that you're inspired yourself. You want to inspire others. You want to be a great leader, and you want to sell at the same time. So I really like a lot of his information. So if you're interested in really getting some inspiration in front of you, he's eloquent and has some prior webinars to share. And tomorrow he has an inspiring free webinar, which is rare because he charges for his coaching. But one of his free events is called the Summer of Success 2025. And you can unlock this by registering. And this is a opportunity for you to understand and see if you enjoy his style. I went through a whole year of classes with him, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time with him. So here is Matthew Ferrara. And by the way, I had to pay $10,000 tuition for 1 year to join this class. So he was one of the best trainers that Ascend could afford. So if you want to unlock your achievement drive, or if you want to just watch some of his videos, he does have a free playlist right now that's like a teaser. So if you want to check out his playlist, here's another link in the chat box for his YouTube channel that you can subscribe to, get some daily or a weekly motivation, and just add this into your daily business plan to be inspired and inspire others, and that'll lead you to be a little bit more fruitful in your life and your endeavors. So that's really cool. If you could just do that and check it out if you like to. Always up to you. So I'm going to go ahead and get to the next class, which we already talked about Aria. The next class is with the Arcadia Association of Realtors. They always have their stuff on their calendars of the website, as well as West San Gabriel. So, taking a look at their lineup, there is a tax deferral of capital gains annuity. So, if you want to defer your taxes and capital gains, some inert annuities are available for seniors looking to downsize or assisted living type arrangements. Whatever your situation is and you want to learn about this, this is really a way for them to sell their properties and still have some income stream. So that is with this company over here. This is an online, not a live class. So you're going to have to register and they'll give you a link. The next cool class, there is a bundle for the BRBC, how to present yourself, a 2-course package for free, and you can get your 45 hours with CAR here. They have MLS training as well. The next other one is financial tax strategies for realtors. So great to talk with a Nicole Green, tax advisor, who can help you understand how to maximize your deductions, setting yourself up with success. And if you have any tax consequences with wildfires, stuff like that. The Thrive Broker Summit is really cool. Huntington Beach, this is a $350 reduced fee if you're interested in going to this broker summit and networking with other peers and professionals. So that's here in for the month of June. They also have a mixer for coffee with the YPN group, and you can meet the AAR president, David Chen. So make sure you take a look. And there's also another AI class right here as well. Okay. So that's the upcoming events for the next 2 weeks with the AAR. West San Gabriel has other classes as well. So if you want to talk and look at grow your team with stronger offers and This is a mortgage company teaching you how to um, really just brand yourself and make sure that your buyers have the right pre-approvals and the understanding of how many days it's going to take for them to get their loan approval. And so if you want to learn from this mortgage provider, there's a class here with West San Gabriel, and they have their Dive and Thrive Social Security benefits through a holistic approach. So if you're interested in some of these topics, you could take a look at some of these live classes. Home warranties on the horizon. You got AI agents on June 20th. Um, so how many of you guys are afraid of AI replacing realtors? Well, if you're like me, I don't think any AI can replace a realtor in the services that we provide. And that's something that I wanted to talk about because the service we provide is pretty invaluable. Agents understand the sales, the negotiation, the human connection between the bridge of the listing agent and the buyer's agent, the bridge between the goals of the seller and the buyer. And sure, AI is very useful. Artificial intelligence can be used to do a lot of research for a buyer or a seller on the value of a home. What are some of the comparables? What are the best qualities? You can use AI to help you write a property description. You can use AI to help you with your prospecting and your lead generation. So these are all cool things, but I think AI is also super, super helpful for research. Researching a specific city that I'm unfamiliar with, and I can ask AI to tell me what is the best neighborhood in California or in Southern California or in Utah or Texas. And I can understand a marketplace very, very strongly by using AI to ask some questions and learn a lot. But I do not think AI can replace a realtor because not only is AI just like a robot, it's an algorithm, it's just spitting out what they could find online. The realtor knows the distinct differences between localities. And so I know that Arcadia, for example, has numerous areas of different school districts where some areas belong to Temple City School, some area belongs to Arcadia, then Monrovia, and as well as El Monte. And it's a big city with nuances between Baldwin Stalker or Upper Rancho or in the the differences of each territory or area does a zip code as well have various nuances. Like if you're north of Huntington Drive is a little bit more higher in prices. If you're north of Foothill, that's even the one of the stronger commanding Arcadia regions, as opposed to being closer towards Live Oak. Then it does have a little bit downward pressure on that price, slash does not belong to Arcadia schools. There are so many cool things to understand that an AI robot will not be able to deliver unless a true professional like yourself knows how to research even the differences in the various cities that you sell in. But the past experiences that you have are what's going to not be replaceable from an AI robot. They won't be able to demonstrate live examples of how you negotiated a $50,000 price reduction or how you negotiated for multiple offers as a listing agent and to get 20 people to write a great offer that are above asking price at the same time, or how you leveraged um, a cancellation into something that's even better for your client. There's different situations that you practice that have invaluable knowledge and wisdom that does not get replaced with AI. So that's the one thing is, are you sharing those stories? Do the people surrounding you know how great you are? Or is it just you in your own mind and your families and your clients' minds only? And so that's where the distinct differences is the more you can broadcast, share your wisdom, and the more it's found and discovered by your clients, the more likely you are to have more appointments, to be able to secure and win your appointments, and then obviously have more sales production in your history. So consider those food for thought as you conduct your business and hopefully improve your sales. The the CAR has a cool little scenario, a little chat GPT versus a CAR hotline attorney. And I do see many of you already asking Google lots of questions about, is it legal for me to give a referral fee to somebody? Is it legal for me to to write this clause in my contract? And my best advice for you is not to use ChatGPT for all legal questions. Obviously, you can do it for research to help you with understanding something. But by all means, there is a better resource, which is the CAR hotline, where you can speak to a live attorney to get that, to ask that question. The problem is AI and ChatGPT is instant at your fingertips. You have the answer in less than 10 seconds. But with the CAR hotline attorney, you have to call them, you have to wait for the call back. So I understand there's a difference, but the several hours wait before you get to the attorney is well worth the consultation if you're doing something that's serious, that matters, that is a negotiation or contractual dispute. You need to be able to handle that kind of stuff. Thank you so much, sir. Chang. Just got a delivery. Thank you. So here's an example of what ChatGPT questions will be like versus a CAR attorney. Well, what are the legally required disclosures in a real estate transaction in California when the property is sold as is? And obviously, this is a question that is often wondered what is required or not required. But luckily, you guys have an awesome checklist that I made to help you guide you what is required or not. Um, but at the end of the day, assuming that the seller is not exempt from disclosures, there's a TDS, there's an NHD, the lead-based paint, SPQ, earthquake booklet and disclosure, mellow roofs and tax, death on the property, termite report if it's required by contract, HOA docs, environmental hazards, and water heater smoke detector. So looks like it's almost complete, but I can tell you that sure, this is just an AI robot telling you what disclosures are required in California, but in practice, your broker always has maybe different customary requirements or differences. And so in this situation, CAR also has different forms available as well. And so the problem with the answer here is that it's incomplete. So if you relied on this information of 11 disclosures as seen here, you're going to be insufficient as an agent providing your information to your client. So it mentions natural hazard disclosures, but doesn't mention the report and how wildfires could potentially impact those additional duties of the seller if you're in a wildfire area and the defensible space requirements of your locality. What it also misses is the SPQ is a nice question. It has all of the normal questions that you ask about history and background of a property, but it's also the CAR attorney gives this answer a D because it forgets about the lead-based paint. It doesn't rely, it doesn't it's not complete. It doesn't talk about the AVID as well. So can a real estate agent pay a referral fee to a mortgage broker? Okay. Well, it depends. I mean, if it's a mortgage broker, they are a licensed industry that may fall under RESPA. Okay. And it is illegal for any property an agent to give a mortgage broker a referral fee kickback for referring business. And this is a civil and criminal penalties up to $10,000. But there is a difference. RESPA it only applies, it doesn't, the AI doesn't tell you RESPA only applies to residential transactions 1 to 4. So if I get a commercial client to sell raw land in a certain area, then and it's an all cash transaction, RESPA does not apply. So it doesn't answer my question to the completeness of what is applicable. So California real estate law and DRE regulations, okay? Under the supervision of a broker, you cannot independently pay referral fees outside of close of escrow. We always want everything to be done inside escrow, unless it's just a small gift less than $500. Now, in this situation here, mortgage brokers who do not hold a real estate broker license cannot legally receive a referral fee from a real estate agent per DRE laws. Okay. Where there are exceptions. For example, if the mortgage broker does hold a real estate broker license, sure, that can be done from broker to broker. If the fee is a real estate broker can receive a referral fee from another real estate professional if the fee is paid between the brokers themselves. Like one company entity is picking up the income and the other broker is 1099 it out. Um, so if it's purely for non-settlement services means not because it's due because of a client being referred finally closes a transaction. Okay. So these referrals that you should be for something else if you want to legally pay it out. Maybe it's for a service like a class that they hold, or an opportunity to advertise or co-advertise on a marketing brochure. Those things are not based on a client completing a sale. They're based on maybe an MSA or like a marketing service agreement, like or maybe some sort of other arrangement. And so obviously you see a lot of brokers and various affiliates enter into a marketing service agreement MSA to comply with the RESPA violations and guidelines. And so these services cannot be paid according to ChatGPT, but this is an F grade. Okay. In California, how does a seller in a real estate transaction cancel an agreement um, anyway, you should always refer to CAR's referral fee quick guide. This is the area where you should understand if a referral is allowed or not allowed. Lastly, there's a question on ChatGPT on the purchase contract and how to cancel. This particular canceling is not a bad answer. The legal hotline says it's a B minus C plus. Essentially, this is kind of missing the point of you got to send a notice to buyer to perform before you can cancel. There's a 48-hour notice. It's not technically 48 hours. It's a 2-day notice. So that's a crucial difference, I guess. In some instances, and just letting you know the answer is not bad in some situations, but don't always rely on it. Just use it for research and then gathering some data first. Okay, we talked enough about that. Let's go ahead and talk now about some of our upcoming active listings. And I do have, maybe I'll spend some time on this first before I get into the actives and solds. Let's talk about the market, and we're going to see a little bit about what's going on in the marketplace, and then I'll get into our new. Any questions from you guys? Okay. So let's take a look. I only have about 10 or 11 market slides. So let's go ahead and start taking a look at this screen in which we have an updated Oscar Way, Deputy Chief Economist slideshow regarding the economy. This is statewide of California, not specifically talking about Los Angeles County. This is the entire California or the US. The US GDP is roughly around negative 0.3%. That's a big, large decline, as you can see, and that might have to do with tariffs, maybe a sharp increase in imports before the tariffs. So you saw a lot of soaring of imports for the first quarter, and a lot of retailers and companies kind of just wanted to get all their goods in beforehand. I know even Apple, for example, they purchased a helicopter to drop in a load of iPhones before the tariff started hitting the announcement. So that's how important it was for Apple to get all their iPhones into the US by a specific deadline because a lot of the imports coming from the ships were delayed or whatnot and or causing a lot of more increases in expenses from China. It was a greater than 150% tariffs. So this is interesting to see because we have recorded negative growth. And obviously, if you see two periods of negative growth, that technically means a decline, a recession. So it looks very likely that a recession is in the near horizon, but there's a difference between a severe recession and a modest or a mild recession. So obviously, we look at what is contributing to our GDP change in the quarter one to five, and looking at this, a lot of businesses pre-spent money before the quarter. And then obviously you have some personal consumption, private investment pushing up GDP. That's like a visual graph of what contributes to GDP, the blue up here, and these down here are taking away. So the stockpiling has created a buffer of less than a month. And what this means is the excess imports that occurred in the first quarter as well as last year, the rise of all these imports looks like it's going to impact sales of retailers and whatnot. So you can see over here, a lot of the retailers do show a dip in sales. It pulled back in April, but there's still modest growth. It's still selling, even though the prices are inflated due to all the inflation. And you can see that the uncertainty is at an all-time high right now. We're the most volatile period of time in the last, 6 years in the consumer and the economic policy that's going on, whether or not there's going to be a rate cut this year or not. We do anticipate one or two more. There is so much uncertainty that the markets, the real estate prices, all the economists, we're confused what's going to happen in the next 6 months, 3 months, and tariffs are being implemented, and then all of a sudden they're being paused, and then they're being modified and reduced, and so you can see so much volatility. And that is something that's not good for businesses. Businesses and companies like stability. So, tariffs will lower the economic growth in the next couple of years. We are anticipating lower GDP because because we're not going to import so much. Maybe it takes some time for companies to build the infrastructure and manufacturing jobs and plants for our population to build more on our U.S. soil. So there'll be some adjustment period for the next couple of years. And that just kind of leads to how tariffs does impact inflation. And if you look in here, look at the China representation in green, Canada imports, and Mexico. So look for Mexico, we get a lot of vegetables, we get a lot of livestock, we get a lot of automobile parts from Mexico. And when you look at China, we have a lot of toys produced in China. We have a lot of iron and steel, plastics, glass, furniture is produced and imported from China. As far as Canada goes, they have a lot of live animals, cereals, prep, food residue, milling and flour, zinc and wood, lumber, all this stuff, aluminum is a raw material in Canada. So, as we make some enemies with our neighboring borders, they are going to increase building costs estimated by 5%. So if you originally started pricing out a rebuild of an ADU or you're rebuilding your fire devastated home in Altadena, or you're looking to just tear down and build something else that's bigger and better, you have to anticipate maybe 5% bump in all of your material cost. So that's something that's very interesting for a 400 square foot ADU. Here's some price differences that are anticipated in various goods like electrical fixtures, maybe framing and woodwork, maybe your appliances that are made overseas. So as opposed to 427,000 of this ADU, 6,770 represents the tariff portion of these related costs, according to an analysis from Baron Studios. So if you look at the construction cost growth rate, in recent months, we started seeing an uptick in construction costs. As you can see, it was much better to do your construction before the pandemic, but now that the inflation and there's limited qualified labor and the companies are just trying to stay afloat and survive, I can see here that there is a significant cost of construction increase where builders take more risk and they need to acquire prices at much lower valuations and whatnot. So it's going to have downward pressure on pricing when it costs so much to replace. Mortgage rates still escalate in the above 7% region. So we're at a very high peak period. According to Freddie Mac, we're right here. According to Mortgage News Daily, you're about right here. So you're looking somewhere about 6.75 to 7.25. That's the range that we've been at. And it's been pretty much consistent for the last 6 months. It's really been at this even for the last year, besides just last quarter four of 2024, you can see that everything has been around that 6.75% to 7 range. So that's the economic update from CAR for the last from last week. Now we can get into our new listings. Okay, so sharing with you right now the current active listings, and here we go. 2415 El Capitan Avenue for rent. This is Anis Chow's new listing for a nice single family with a giant lot. You can see from the photos, it's a nice, well-maintained property, expansive driveway, two-car garage attached, and you do have a remodeled bathrooms and kitchen, 4 beds, 2.5 baths for 5,700 per month. And you can see a giant yard, great for anyone who's looking for peaceful privacy in north of Live Oak, near Santa Anita Avenue. Congrats to Anis Chow on this rental. 2106 Charlotte Street, Los Angeles is now pending. This is a property for sale, and happy to say it's closed. It's in escrow. We have 918 Garvey Ave, Unit 313, Monterey Park, active for sale. This is a senior condo, Evergreen Manor too, because I sold one over here. I'm pretty familiar. It's a 2 bed, 2 bath, 829 square feet for only 425,000. And this is a newer community, really great location near Garvey and Atlantic. And this has a HOA fee, senior community, 55 plus. There's a $300 HOA fee. Congratulations to Jennifer Huang. She's an expert in this community. She sold way more than me. But as you can see, you can get yourself a nice 2 bedroom condo for only 425,000. So that the buyer does not could be of any age. The occupant has to be 55 plus, just so you know. So a child, like a 30-year-old, could purchase it for their 55 plus mom or dad as a retirement community. They have parking that's on a wait list and whatnot. So yeah, taking to let you know, nice little affordable condo for we have 56 Duarte Road, 308, Arcadia, for lease, 2 bedroom, 2.5 bath. This is a 2019 built community in the same complex where there is Momo Paradise and a CTBC Bank. There's also a no, it's 85 degrees tea shop, and this is for rent, so you can go ahead and talk to Anis Chow This is a luxury style, very elegant and modern community where you have a very large open area. It allows pets. The interior is very nicely constructed and great to move in and live in because everything's really also has some furniture available for the occupants to easily move right in and transition. So you can see this is a nice little property for rent, only 4,000 per month. Anis Chow. Now we also have 13510 Hidden Valley Road, Victorville. This is a 2,300 per month rental. And in Victorville for 2,300, you can get 2,000 square feet of living area. That's pretty huge. So you can see here there's a garage, you get a large single family house, and it's built in the 1981. Talk to Julia. This is her brand new listing on this property. Okay. And we have 4032 Crest Haven Drive, Westlake Village. This is a property that just went under contract. Mei Zhang is the listing agent. It's a gorgeous property, but it's in a high wildfire area. So just letting you know. It's now in escrow, active under contract. In Altadena, here's a property that has survived. 2461 St. Pierre Ave. This is a property for 4 beds, 2 baths for 1.28 million. 9 days on the market. I really wish the best of luck to Henry Liu in getting this property sold. And we have 1850 South 2nd Avenue. This is a new listing for sale at 2.25 million. 3 beds, 2 baths, 3,100 per square feet. And this is the Arcadia home. It's got 2.25 million. Still looks pretty good. Well-maintained condition. May not be fully remodeled yet, but it's nice value because it's in a great area north of Longden Avenue. And it has a little rear guest house as well. Okay. 2nd Avenue is great. We have 3881 Cranbrook Paseo, Ontario, for sale. 4 bedroom townhouse built in 2023, and it's over 2,000 square feet. So this is a nice new listing from Clinton Cheung, and he's hopefully got this newer community, getting it ready for any. It's been very, very nicely designed inside, elegant interior, recessed lighting. You could check it out. If you have anyone for Ontario, let him know. And 1754 Fortuna Avenue in Landers, California. For 429,000, you can get a house, 2 bedroom, plus 217,000 square foot lot size. So this is a giant, giant property. It's got a lot of move-in ready property with some cool features about the home because obviously the land is also what you're paying for. Talk to Henry Liu if you have anyone interested in this giant 5 acre property. And we also have 1828 New Avenue, San Gabriel. This is 1.198 million, 2 unit duplex for sale. Open house is this weekend. You can see this duplex is in great shape inside. Looks like it's been remodeled at some point in time, and it's occupant ready. So if you have anyone looking for living in one, living and selling and renting out the other, talk to Steve Hang on this property for sale. Congratulations to Steve. 1.2 mil gets you that. 2.98 million will get you this. 1873 Los Robles Avenue in San Marino. For almost $3 million, you get a nice 2,600 square feet home, just under 7,000 lot size. It's a Mediterranean property. I want to talk to Daniel Wong if you have anyone interested in this San Marino. It's been price reduced by 200,000 almost. So as you can see, this seller is motivated and ready to sell. I love the interior photos. It's super modern and elegant inside. You can see here it's a unique design, open floor plan with lots of LED lighting. And as you can see here, it's truly just a one of a kind, beautiful, gorgeous home. Built only in 2015. So it's not that old at all. Okay. And we have a 2415 Park Ave, Tustin. This is a business restaurant, Prime Hot Pot, a restaurant for sale. So if you have anyone interested, talk to Laura Liu. And we have 4440 Forsyth, Paseo, Ontario. 658,000 for a really new 2022 built home. Very motivated seller. And it's a nice newer townhome condo that's for sale by Laura Sitong Liu and Robin Fruth. Hopefully you guys can get this one sold, guys. All right. So that is our active listings. Let's congratulate a few of our closers for the last couple of weeks. 968 Lincoln Ave, Pomona, sold by Jerry and Connie Baker. Full price. This is their listing and it's sold right at their asking price. Congratulations. We have 19612 Rangeland Road in Ramona. This is a $3 million estate where they sold. This is congratulations to Danny Estremera. He sold 8.63 acres of this San Diego property. It's basically its own mountain estate. So this property is super rare and unique. Gated entry, super beautiful, one of a kind custom home koi pond. It has some farming, agricultural on the estate. And as you can see, this is a very luxurious estate home with super high soffit ceilings, wood paneled, and very custom, elegant materials that are designed by a special architect, and high cathedral ceilings. You have an infinity pool. You have truly just a special home. I really loved to see Danny get this one sold for his buyer who now owns this gorgeous estate. 8765 Cedar Point Court in Rancho Cucamonga just leased out for full asking price, 3440. Congratulations to Cherry Wong on your lease. And to 600 Atlantic Boulevard, Unit 411 in Monterey Park. This condominium sold full price in Monterey Park, in Atlantic Times Square. Congratulations to Angel Lau for listing this property and getting full price for her seller. 11662 Stewart Drive in Garden Grove just closed for 3.72 million. You can see this is a 16-plex apartment building. Very proud and happy to see Margaret and Amy get this one closed for their client as the listing side. They did very good to get near their asking price. And you have it for 5826 Temple City. This is a Temple City property. As you can see, it's a piece of dirt, and that dirt is worth still sold for 1.4 million with some plans to ready to build 5-unit condominium. And so you can see here, this congratulations to Xiaoling Chen and Henry Liu for getting this sale closed for your clients together. Hopefully you get this development and get it listed once it's ready too. This is 1533 Royal Oaks Drive in Bradbury. This property sold for 4.98 million. Very expensive dirt over here, but it's got almost 4 acres of land. And congratulations to Henry Liu for listing and getting this one closed for your client. 1000 Fairview Ave, number 2, Arcadia. 818,000. This closing just occurred, and as you can see, this is a nice recent sale. Congratulations to Carmen Lee for getting this one closed out. All right, and 12866 Crestfield Court, Rancho Cucamonga for 883,000 closing. It's a nice little property for sale that was represented with our agent, Lorena Liang. And she sold this property for her client in Rancho Cucamonga. And very proud of her and her success. And the last one is 16355 Sandpiper Ave, Chino. This closing full price. Congratulations to Angel Lau for closing this one with her buyer. All right. So that brings us to the end of our sales, except for there is one off-market listing I did send out last week. If you do have anyone, 1012 Alta Vista is available for sale. I'll just pull up the link and let you know. This is really primarily for its land value. Currently, it is a duplex. But as you can see in here, you got a front house and the back house is fully paid off. Currently, it's 1750 total for this duplex, and it's got a good size lot size. That's one of the best, 0.33 acres. I think it was 14 or 15,000 lot size. So it does have that potential to probably make a R3 or build a nice single family with ADU, depending on your client's needs. Check with the city. But this was going for 1.5 million and it's negotiable on the asking price. Okay. Sold off market. If you have any clients, it's drive-by only. But I did meet the seller and the seller is interested if the price is right. So if you have anything else on your minds, you can let me know. Any pocket listings, anything else that you want to advertise, needs and wants. Okay, well, that brings us, it's 11 o'clock on the dot. Um, that's it for today's sales meeting. I'll see you guys hopefully in the next week's Keys to Success or in 2 weeks for our next sales meeting. If you have anything at all, you always can reach me anytime. Okay, guys?